Wander and Agro vs. Basaran, ancient colossal lightning turtle. Basaran, Bossa-frickin-Ron. What more can be said about this guy? If you know Shadow of the Colossus, then you already know everything you need to know about this guy. The Ancient Colossal Lightning Turtle is a feature of the entire game, one of the standouts amongst the Colossi, and definitely gonna be one of my favorites to review. Let's start with the title of this video when I set up the protagonists as Wander and Agro. Now Agro, as you know, is Wander's horse, along with being Wander's only companion during his treks, and while he was with you through all of the previous 7 Colossi battles, he wasn't inherently required. Really, the only battle he could have been involved with was the Quadratus battle, but again, Quadratus was too slow, combining with Agro's relative speed would have made using your horse nearly detrimental to the actual fight. But here, Basaran is fast enough to actually need the horse to cover ground quickly, so he is required, which is why he's featured in the title. Getting to this guy isn't a problem. All you have to do is cross a small chasm slightly beyond a previously explored area. Basaran lives in a cave in front of a field of geysers. Why geysers? I'll explain in a minute. But first, remember which definition I introduced in my Kuramori review? Do you remember? Are you even trying? Well, don't just sit there and expect me to tell you, go figure it out. I'll be back soon to hear what you've recently remembered. Okay, do you have the answer? Really? Ugh, fine, I'll tell you. Lasers! Those straight-line, super fast, and powerful attacks. Basaran is completely powered up with the same lightning balls as Kuramori, except this time, there's no place to hide, motherfucker! You are screwed. But don't fear, because Basaran has a weak point on his... feet. Really? Yes, his weak spot is on his feet. His tiny-ass feet. But Kaz, how am I supposed to hit his feet if he's walking all over the place? Well, do you remember those geysers all over the place I told you about? Oh yeah, I see them now. Well, you have to guide Basaran over those geysers in order to flip him onto his back, and then you have to shoot the tiny targets with your sightless bow. But... that sounds hard. Yes, but never fear, because Team Ico have ideally complemented the difficult shot with having the geysers that flip him over frequently miss their target, or not have the power to flip him over when hit, leaving him back on the earth ready to blast your ass off of Argo before you know what the fuck. Vic, you mean even if I hit him, I can still lose? Yes, you can! With some innovative game design work, anyone can make the boss's weak point actually not work whenever the game feels like it! Okay, so if the weak point doesn't work, can I just dodge him all over the place? Sure you can, but remember that laser lightning ball I was talking about earlier? Yes, what about it? See, if you ride away from Basaran too much, then he will retaliate with his boredom and actually shoot you in Argo before you can get away from him. And, my little chum, the game also gives you a lock-on camera system for seeing Basaran easily at all times. Oh, so that will make it easier for me to dodge. Actually, that won't happen! See, horses are fast and turtles are slow, right? Right. So, since you're trying to guide Basaran along with getting away from him, that requires a lot of turning, and since the camera is so finicky, you'll actually be watching your camera zoom all the way around the place while Basaran shoots you again. Okay, so the weak spot doesn't work, and running away doesn't work, and avoiding his shots doesn't work because of the terrible camera. So what can we do? Well, at this point we only have one option. Contend with the terribly designed system and hope for the best. This is why retries are so useful in video games nowadays. Now I hope you learned a lot today from your buddy Kaz. I sure did. Now I'll be able to get blasted by Basaran just like you. Yeah, now go along and play. You see what kind of crap I have to work with, don't you? Basaran's fight is so incredibly badly designed that it turns into an AI-controlled situation. Yet another boss trope I will define for you along with various examples. An AI-controlled boss fight is a boss fight that involves either bad design or invincible defense or offense that depends on strict following of boss scripts or split-second defeating of near-insurmountable defenses. Examples like this include Jasper Bad Jr., Gene from Metal Gear Solid Portable Ops, the Boss from Metal Gear Solid 3, and Frank Yeager from Metal Gear Solid Portable Ops, and arguably the Yellow Devil from Mega Man. I don't think there's more to say on Basaran, so let's just slap a score on this Ancient Lightning Turtle. Gameplay. Okay, let's run down the list. Weak point that only works half the time, terrible camera system, the sightless bow that runs on the hopes and dreams of the shooter to hit the target, and finally adding the laser lightning attack along with an AI-controlled boss fight. This turtle is actually so atrocious I might have considered giving it a 0, but instead I'll give it a 1/3 Triforce just because 0 is reserved for something completely unplayable. Story. Basaran lives in a cave slightly off the beaten track of a different boss location in the middle of a geyser field, along with edging on aggressiveness rather than being a rudely awakened creature just trying to defend itself. So it's on its own level altogether, but can I give a story points for starting to go against the norm and just being out for itself? Basaran is a survivor, and a tough son of a bitch to be sure, giving itself something unique amongst the usual crowd. I'll score it with an 8 1/3 Triforces for being tough as nails and not gonna take no lip from someone like this kid and his damn horse. Fun. Fighting this guy took probably at least a half hour because of just guiding him and then failing to flip him over and then failures to shoot his weak spot once he was flipped over. Combine that with several sigils to stab instead of just one and you've got a brick wall sitting in front of you with only a spoon by your side to break it down with. Fighting Basaran is like pulling huge tree roots or trying to dig a hole from dirt filled with big old rocks. Or maybe trying to shoot a 500-yard target with a pistol as a beginner. Brick-chewingly annoying with everything working against him. Basaran as a fun boss is just an utter and complete failure in every sense of the word. Slap him with 1/3 Triforce again because you can actually defeat him so he's not that bugged up the ass. Basaran is one of my favorite things to review because there is no relief for this guy at all if you don't count his actual defeat, which I don't because it's not part of the fight itself. Fiddly controls, bad design, a difficult concept. Basaran has failed in almost every sense except that his tough-ass demeanor and great offensive capabilities with his laser attack does give him that unique taste within the fight, but otherwise it's teeth-grindingly, brick-chewingly, head-smashingly, controller-destroyingly frustrating, with its only good moment being at the end, just like now when I wish you all a victory for gamers. Ha ha ha! Gotcha!